So another day, another just weird situation, with Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever and people around the organization. We obviously have seen the Scott Agnes article here, where he basically said that Caitlin Clark, that Caitlin Clark brings a dark side to the Fever, and her fans are like a negative on the team, and it's a struggle dealing with her fans. I'm like,
are the Fever really thinking about trading Caitlin Clark? The whispers online say yes. And the vibes are stranger than a halftime mascot race. Did she score too much? Smile too big? Move too many jerseys? Something doesn't add up, and it's not the pre-game meal. We're diving headfirst into the chaos, connecting the dots, and maybe exposing what could be the dumbest front office decision in years. Grab your popcorn. This is about to get hotter than a Clark Logo 3.
Another good win by the Indiana Fever today versus the Seattle Storm, but I got a big concern with Caitlin Clark, man. So looks like the Fever have been figuring things out, man. So let's just say Clark comes back toward the end of the season. Fever do their thing in the playoff. Let's just say, for the sake of my argument, the Fever win the championship, man. With Caitlin Clark having missed pretty much most of the regular season, would this championship not hold that much weight? Because I can already see the haters saying she missed most of the regular.
Let's be real. If the Fever ever traded Caitlin Clark, they might as well pass out "we quit" signs with every ticket. Think Indiana traffic is bad? Just wait until you see the stampede of fans rushing to support whatever team lands number 22. We're talking about the most marketable, most talked about, most Googled player in women's sports. And they'd move her for what? A bag of half-used warm-up towels and a future second-rounder? Come on.
he literally said, and he was like, there are some people that are not here for basketball, not here for the Fever, but are only here for Caitlin Clark. It's like, if you're a fan of a player and you're here for the basketball and you're there watching games and everything, you're a fan of a player playing basketball. I don't see there's an issue with that. And according to his thing, to him, he was talking about how it was such a struggle for the team, and obviously he's someone who has access to the team. And he mentioned the the fans coming on saying fire Steph.
The Fever's arena would go from packed house to echo chamber faster than you can say worst trade in sports history. Right now, Clark isn't just the main event. She is the event. She's not only selling out games, she's selling out entire cities. Concession stands get cleaned out, merch tables look like a Black Friday free-for-all, and suddenly everyone's grandma is rocking a number 22 jersey. And we're supposed to believe they'd throw all that away like yesterday's box score? Please.
The reason why I was a little disappointed in Sophie's take is that, she's right. It's just that she did say, and I thought this was a better explanation, she was saying that when she played in Phoenix, that she was in the locker room, and so many of the players in the locker room were saying things like, oh, we're going to show Caitlin Clark what the W is really about, and would sort of go after her. And in some ways you can understand that because she was a rookie in the league. But ultimately, when you see all this vitriol of people who cannot stand her, it's like, okay, well, what has she done wrong? Yeah, she's a great basketball player. So
the math just isn't mathing. You don't trade the one player who took your franchise from background noise to primetime spotlight. Before Clark, half the WNBA couldn't even pick the Fever logo out of lineup. Now, they're the Beyonce of the league, front, center, and always trending. That's not strategy. That's Caitlin.
She is a badass and a trash talker and gives it as good as she gets it. And she is an object of scorn for good reason. She's awesome. She's swaggery. She does turn your home crowd into a road crowd. She is a frustrating player to guard, all of it. And if she is, for some of these teams, a bit of a villain, that's sweet. It only will make her better. She is already one of the 3 or 4 best players in the sport, as a lot of us thought she would be in short order.
If the Fever actually pulled the trigger on a trade, they'd be pulling the plug on their own relevance. Let's be real. Clark isn't just a player. She's a one-woman media machine. Cameras trail her like she owes them rent. Every shot she takes ends up on 5 sports shows, 3 podcasts, and your cousin's TikTok feed. Trade her in that spotlight? Gone. Vanished. along with your playoff hopes by mid-June. And here's the kicker. Whichever team lands, Clark instantly becomes America's team. Doesn't matter if it's Minnesota, Seattle, or some small town with more cows and people. Slap number 22 on a jersey, and suddenly that franchise has more fans than the Super Bowl. They'll go from who to take my money faster than Clark buries a logo 3. Meanwhile, the Fever will be stuck hyping up a gritty rebuild in a half-empty arena, wondering why the popcorn machine is louder than the crowd. Cute. As if the leap from 2,000 fans to sold-out stadiums happened because of good defense and community outreach. Please, that's like saying people go to Disneyland for churros. No, they go for Mickey Mouse. And Caitlyn is Mickey Mouse.
The Indiana Fever posted this about Caitlin Clark to give the official what is going on with Caitlyn's injury. So they said Caitlin Clark underwent further medical evaluations earlier this week, which confirmed that no additional injuries or damage was discovered. Clark will continue working with the medical team on her recovery and rehabilitation with the priority on her long-term health and well-being. There is no timetable available for her return. But I do think it's interesting that ESPN has listed August 12th as a possible return date for Caitlin Clark. But the internet noticed something specific that Holly Rowe had to say on the broadcast. Holly Rowe said that before the last return after a quad injury, she had no...
It's a movement. People aren't only watching, they're traveling, posting, and turning WNBA League Pass into a surprise streaming hit of the summer. And you really think they're going to stick around for the Fever's next chapter if Clark is out there draining logo 3s in another city? Not a chance. They'll follow her anywhere, like Swifties, only with better free throw formed. There's this wild fantasy that once Clark is gone, the Fever will still be competitive and the fans will stay loyal. To that, I offer polite good luck. Unless Indiana somehow replaces her with a lab-built superhuman who can hit threes, run the point, win MVP, sell tickets, and single-handedly cure boredom, what you're really getting is tumbleweeds and regret. And let's not forget the money. Trading Caitlin Clark wouldn't just be a basketball blunder. It'd be financial malpractice. Letting her go would be like Apple firing Tim Cook and handing the keys to a Roomba.
You know, she didn't play most of the games to get them to the playoffs, all of that. She won a championship and she was hurt most of the season and the team was out there winning games without her. I can already see people saying that, man. So I'm just curious, man, because I'm thinking like, damn, you know, Clark has missed a lot of this time. You know, you play the regular season to get to the playoffs. Clark has missed, you know, most of the season so far. So if she won a title this year, having been injured most of this season, and then her first championship would be her being hurt most of the time, how would that championship rank for y'all? Would it not hold that much weight? Would it just be, you know, a win is a win, whatever?
And please, spare us the maybe it's best for both sides narrative. Best for who? The accountants? The poor merch guys stuck designing team effort shirts because nobody's buying anything else? The PR intern pulling all-nighters to explain why the arena looks like a ghost town on game night? Let's call it what it is. This isn't addition by subtraction. It's subtraction by delusion. Trading Clark wouldn't be some bold front office chess move. It'd be a live demonstration on how to burn your own house down while patting yourself on the back for inventing fire. The only thing Indiana would be adding is chaos, plus a tidal wave of where did it all go wrong think pieces, because it stopped being just about basketball a long time ago. Its brand, its identity, its cultural momentum. And unless the Fever have secretly mastered cloning and managed to build a copy of Clark that shoots sharper, talks sassier, and looks even cooler in slow-mo, there is no trade package on earth that makes sense. No mix of picks, players, or promises can replace the butts and seats, the scoreboard highlights, or the social media wildfire she sparks.
Can we be clear about this? If Caitlin Clark were not in the WNBA, we would not be talking about the WNBA. She is the only ticket draw in the WNBA. A large percentage of all tickets sold in the WNBA are so people can watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. No one cares about Angel Reese. Should be drawing flies if she were playing not against Caitlin Clark on the court right now. Angel Reese has basically become the Bill Laimbeer to Caitlin Clark's Larry Bird, essentially.
At the end of the day, the message couldn't be clearer. You don't trade the sun and expect the planets to keep orbiting like nothing happened. Trade Caitlin Clark, and the entire galaxy shifts, You just better hope you're not the ones left freezing in the dark. And here's where logic flatlines and reality starts cartwheeling. The people calling the shots seem to think fans are tuning in for the Fever, as if the logo, the colors, or the word Indiana itself has some magical pull over millions. Like a random mid-range jumper from anyone not named Caitlin is going to keep the nation glued to their screens. Newsflash. This fan base would follow Clark to the worst team in the league before pretending to care about a competitive roster without her. Nobody's here for a gritty rebuilding arc. They're here for the Clark cinematic universe. This isn't about the ensemble cast. It's about the main character. We already saw the proof last season. Viewers treated every Iowa game like it was the NBA Finals. The second the Fever season ended, poof, gone. Playoffs? Nobody cared. Ratings dipped, attendance nosedived, and social media hit the emergency Clark's out button. It was hibernation mode until she returned.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. She accounted also for helping drive the numbers of merchandising up 500%. Of course, her jersey was #1. And most importantly, I think people look at this and think she said no. That's not the case. She said she wants her first competition to be an Indy at WNBA All-Star.
Caitlin Clark summed it up perfectly at the All-Star game, without even trying to throw shade. Kelsey Mitchell spent 8 years grinding to the Fever's dark ages, back when arena atmosphere meant one lonely concession stand and the sound of popcorn kernels echoing in the rafters. Then Clark shows up, and suddenly the Fever are pulling nearly 17,000 a night. From 4,000 to 17,000 like it's just another Tuesday, and it's not just the seats. TV ratings are spiking. Merch is vanishing. Corporate sponsors are practically lining up with blank checks, desperate to slap their logo on anything that moves. Clark is printing money faster than the Treasury and drawing eyeballs faster than a TMZ scandal. The Fever didn't just draft a player. They hit the sports lottery. Trading her wouldn't just be a headline. It'd be a cautionary tale, a textbook case study in how to ruin everything 101. They went from crickets to chaos, from ghost town to frenzy. Trade Caitlin Clark? Might as well shut off the lights and lock the doors on your way out.